What would you say is an appropriate penalty for being attracted to members of the same sex? If you said death, you are a real piece of shit. Oh, or you're just God.
Bizarre.
Hey there, my faithful miscreants. Lucy here with some more knowledge you can't get in college. Today, I want to talk about why trusting the Bible for moral guidance is like trusting me to babysit. A really shitty idea. So, the Bible gives humanity the 10 Commandments as a moral cornerstone. But let's look a little closer at the first 4 commandments. Worship me and only me. Don't worship graven images or false idols. Don't use my name in vain. Honor my day of rest. Really? These are the priorities for humanity? Think about it. Out of all possible instructions, the big guy used 40% of the list to make sure you meet puppets kiss the ring at every opportunity. Remind you of anybody? Meanwhile, universal evils, like, oh I don't know, kitty diddling and grape didn't even make the cut.
But grape is covered by the other commandments, like thou shalt not steal or thou shalt not commit adultery.
We don't do mental gymnastics on this channel, so save your breath. If God had time to spell out that it's wrong to covet your neighbor's donkey, he surely could have clarified this one for us. But not all the commandments are silly. Don't murder and don't steal is solid advice. Do we really need Sky Padre to let us know these things are wrong though? How long do you suppose a society would last if folks were allowed to murk one another? Of course, the 10 Commandments are just a foundation of morality that the Bible lays out. Let's dive deeper and see what we can dig up. One of my personal favorites, anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death. This is actually repeated several times in the Bible, so I don't buy the context arguments. God just doesn't like sassy kids. But hey, who does? Dr. Phil exists because too many folks spared the rod.
Hell yeah. You. Hell yeah. See you later. Wow.
And then there's slavery. God puts his stamp of approval on the practice throughout the text, even setting rules in place, but never forbidding it. Real diabolical shit. Now, the fundies and apologists are gonna make all kinds of excuses here, but I made a whole other video where I debated God and shit all over the arguments, which I'll link to down below, so I'm gonna move on. What would you say is an appropriate penalty for being attracted to members of the same sex? If you said death, you are a real piece of shit. Or, you're just God.
Hey, homosexuality is a choice.
Are you actively fighting urges to jump on some cock? People, we could go on for days about how the good book is a shit blueprint for morality, but the very foundation of Christianity is pure assholery. You could be the nicest person with all the integrity in the world, but if you don't bow down to the notorious God, you end up with me for eternity. Yes, you could end up in the lake of fire forever, while the likes of Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy get to kick it in paradise, because they jumped through that salvation loophole before they bought the farm. I know I seem pretty rad on YouTube, but if Diddy-style parties, where you're the party favor, ain't your thing, or if you're not super fond of the idea of living inside the sun's butthole, then you might want to bust out your favorite knee pads and get to work polishing God's knob. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any videos of the ridiculous and unbelievable. I'll see you next time when we discuss all the people God murked in the Bible. Spoiler alert, his body count is way, way, way bigger than mine.